Hello, everybody. Welcome to Georgie Garwood. That's my name. And I've got my lovely friend Mark with us today to talk about connection in nature. Welcome, Mark. It's lovely to have you with us.
Thanks so much, Georgie.
You, to me, you're a druid. I know you're not a practicing druid, but the things you believe, nature is your spirituality, and all the practices that you have are very much around earth energy and nature, the earth's biofield, the body, and that kind of thing. So can you just fill us in on more about what you do, Mark, please?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'm
in a nutshell.
Druid. Yeah. So I'm a geomancer, which means that I work with the Earth's energies, different sorts of energy structures in the ground, and I use dowsing to understand them. And I work with sacred geometry. So I design and build utilizing sacred geometry, which is the sacred natural forms that are the fundamental structures of physical nature and also of consciousness as well. And then I build structures. I build landscape structures like stone circles and labyrinths and medicine wheels. And then I apply these archetypal ancient principles from my tradition, which is the European tradition of building, of sacred building, and also into architecture and interiors and furniture. So I'm a interior architect by training, and all of this is wound together with the understanding that the landscape has intelligence, that there's life force in all things. And this is universal for all traditions, whether it's the Native American or the Druids. They all recognized and understood that by living close to the land. And then I've done a lot of energetic work, originally from martial arts. And then I've done for about 10 years a lot of training in a particular tradition, which we're going to talk about this evening a little bit, which is about how we... it's a very ancient practice to allow us to merge our awareness into nature. We use nature as the teacher. We use nature as the vehicle to enable us to get into really very profound states, really, and that allows us to get inside of ourselves and to then recognize that everything has life force, everything is a biofield, and like all spiritual traditions, they recognize that when you can come into alignment and resonance, then you can start to recognize the living spirit that's within all of nature, including ourselves.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? That feeling that you get, even just going outside near some trees, it's just completely calms you down. Well, it does for me anyway. It just makes me feel relaxed, centered. Everything comes from here and just starts to go a bit deeper and into your heart. And yeah, it's incredible. I'm just checking, Mark, that some of the people are looking from Facebook, because obviously normally it's Unified Consciousness Facebook Live, but because of Facebook being slightly complicated now, it won't let us stream directly in. So we're going to do it. We're doing it to YouTube instead. Yep. So I haven't got any comments. Hopefully everybody's okay and they're with us. If they are with us, they're actually viewing now, which will be great. So, we've got a couple of people watching. So yes, we are streaming. Okay.
Wonderful. So just following from what you were saying there about that calming nature, like just going and hugging a tree. I know it's sort of a bit of a cliche, but it really works, you know. And we can just go up and work with trees and recognize they've got really strong biofields and get that relaxation and allow a nervous system to reset. But there are some really quite remarkable traditions. In particular, the Taoist tradition, which is basically the yogic tradition of ancient China, which I've done quite a lot of training in. They have a system of that. It's called Ping Heng Gong. Sounds a bit strange. Basically, it's a balancing art. And they're in the same way that you mentioned the Druids before, in the same way that the ancient Celtic, sometimes recognized the Druid tradition, created something called Ogham, which is like a tree, alignment of different trees to the different periods and months of the year, and sort of, I think it's 12 core trees. They recognize different qualities. In the Chinese system of balancing, they've taken their understanding of internal energy, working with the trees, and they've got a really quite advanced practice of being able to recognize different trees, some for balancing, some for more vitalization, really very specific jobs. So with that sort of understanding, we can go into nature and recognize that there's incredible amounts of healing that we can get from all aspects of the land.
So, for instance, say you have an oak tree, would it have a different resonance than a willow? Would it be a different?
Yeah. They have different qualities. So, like an oak's that sort of massive, strong power and vitality, where a willow, obviously, its qualities. So, willow is basically a tree that grows well in water. It has much more of a yin, soft quality, and so the willow's gonna sort of move, and it's very pliable. So some of the qualities can be seen just from their physical nature, and this is all, there's a lot of the tree wisdom is very well known, but also, but we can also do the same things. If we tune in, we can tune into the rocks, the soil, the all the different aspects. And when we'll sort of be working in the summer, this main practice allows us to tune in. It's that tuning in, like tuning a radio and tuning ourselves, and sort of slowing our vibration down, allowing us to feel into those different frequencies, because we lead fast lives, and we're when 90% of the time most people are 90% of the time indoors, and then a lot of that time is with screens. And so the screens that we're all using now are necessary, but they give off a blue light frequency. And this blue light is, it creates a problem with our eyes and a problem with our health. And the electricity can have a detrimental effect for our physical health. Like what happens is that so we've got ionizing radiation from electromagnetic frequencies can get into our body, and this ionizing process strips electrons from our atoms. This is what ionizing means. If anyone's heard of that before, so things like mobile phones, they say they're non-ionizing, but actually, like electricity and Wi-Fi and all these devices that we have, can actually put a great amount of load on our physical body and our subtle energy body. And so going into nature, just going out and spending 20 minutes a day earthing, where we've got barefoot on the ground, what's going to happen is that we're going to be able to draw on the Earth's magnetic field, and that's going to help us to rebalance those atoms that have had this electron stripped away. So nature really gives us the solution to us being inside. So we're inside. We're getting all this blue light and EMFs. We're not getting sunlight, and we're not being outside as we used to be, in previous centuries. And that's why we're getting sick so much. I was reading a study only like a week ago, where the Ayurvedic tradition of India, some of the lineages have recognized the EMFs are actually a toxin to our energy body, like toxicity, so that the EMFs can actually get inside, and then into the bone marrow, and then into really deep parts of the body, and then they're not compatible with our biology, and then can cause more problems with all the other things that occur. So really getting into nature and connecting with it is absolutely vital. And then if we can go to places like, if we can go into where there's lots of trees, that's remarkable. There's a lot of studies It's been called biophilic or biophilia. Sort of mainstream scientists have recognized that trees give off these things called terpenes. They're like these microscale scents. And if you spend like a week in a forest, these terpenes get into our physicality, and they've seen red blood counts go up. And so we actually, we can ground, we can hug trees, we can just feel great and sit there. But if we actually, let's say we went camping for a week, near trees, we're going to come away much healthier. If you're camping, you haven't got your phones, and you're going to have a digital detox, and then you're going to not have natural, not artificial light, and also on top of that, you're then going to wake up with the natural part of the day. Your circadian rhythms are going to reset. So like 1 week of camping in a forest, like 6 months of enhanced health. So it's nature really can support all aspects of our health.
Wow. So what you were saying before is, just let me recap on that, because I just want that to sink in. 1 week in nature with no phone.
Yeah.
It's you 6 months health boost, if you like.
Yeah. I mean, obviously each person's different, but like just it's a reset. A bit like if we go into a fast, for a physical fast, and we stop eating food and we drink water, we allow our digestive system to reboot. And actually, we're constantly bombarded with electromagnetic frequencies, and to be able to get into nature, all of those things, allowing all of those things to happen, we're going to come away feeling amazing. The other thing that happens is that we're also going to be breathing in negative ions. So we talked about ionizing radiation coming from EMFs. Negative ions are, even though they're called negative, they're actually good for us. They're not. So it's the positive ions that actually create a problem. We can take in more negative ions in the same way that we take more electrons from earthing. We're going to basically feel better. So if you go to the beach and you're on the beach, you're getting sunlight, you're walking on the sand, so you're earthing. You go in the ocean, you're feeling great. When you come out of the water, that sort of incredible feeling coming from the ocean, that's the negative ions. Standing next to a waterfall, you're going to get it as well. You can even now buy shower heads that have little ceramic balls in them, and the water runs through the balls and then creates negative ions coming out the shower head. So that can be, you can actually replicate that. It's so important. So all these. So nature gives us all of those things. Even if you go and sit next to a river, and you get the sort of put your feet in the water, and you can actually earth with your feet in the water as well. There's so many ways that we can use nature, and that's why if we go out on holiday and we're actually outdoors all the time, we're gonna feel incredible.
Yes, brilliant. And I'm sort of quite challenged at the moment with the phone. I know it's a thing, and I just would very much like to leave it behind a lot more. So I think personally, I've got more and more dependent on it, and it's definitely something that I need to watch out for. So that has to be brought into the situation as well, doesn't it, Mark? Really?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like the technology is sort of indispensable, but it's what those things we can put into place. We need them for our work. We need them for communication. It's part of the lives. But being able to say, right, I'm gonna go out and spend a bit of time outside without using them, or like what I do now is sort of have a rule that like sort of get up and get sunlight, and then do physical practice and meditation, and then set a rule then not to look at the screen before a certain time. The other thing that's super important as well is that it's related, is sort of setting a limit and saying, right, I'm not going to use blue light, I'm not going to use screens like an hour before bed. Now, not only that's, we go and read a book, as we used to, but also it means that you're not getting that blue light into your eyes, into your system before sleep as well. So that's a really vital hack to be able to do in terms of turn the Wi-Fi off at night, and then sort of put all the devices out of the room. They're absolutely basic, but
Absolutely.
but the thing is, though, the devices, they're designed to keep you engaged. They're
Yeah.
designed to, they're designed to show you more and more stuff that you like. It's basically they're drug dealing information. And I think that, when you recognize that, I saw a fact the other day, and it was insane. It was something like 1 billion pieces of information a day globally, across all media. It was a massive number, and everyone wants the attention. And so to be able to say, okay, I'm going to go away, I'm going to go and spend, a full day in nature, I'm not going to take the phone all weekend, is a massive reset to your brain. There's an amazing guy, I don't know if you heard of him, his name's Andrew Huberman, and he's an American neuroscientist, and he has some incredible, he's a professor at one of the universities, Stanford, I think, and he's got a lot of amazing videos explaining about the neurochemistry of brainwaves and how dopamine and those different chemicals, basically, when we see something we like, we have a boost of these chemicals, a bit like, we eat chocolate and we have a boost, but there's this really, really understood now cycle of dopamine hits where we get something we like and then we want it again and again. This is what all of the social media platforms want us to do. They want us kept on the sort of the hamster wheel of the dopamine hits. And so nature is the solution to that. Going outside and just, whether it's walking or taking the dogs out or gardening or going to the beach or wild swimming, that's an amazing one. Completely free, getting, really being fully immersed, or if you can, go into a waterfall. All of these things can allow us to reset our mind back to the frequency of nature.
And even if you live in a city or a town and it's really busy, there's always parks. You can always generally get to a park.
There's always parks,
yeah. So
exactly.
It's kind of got to be on the top of the list, hasn't it, to access nature? And almost like, okay, I've got half an hour for lunch. Well, take a packed lunch and go to the park. Don't just go and sit in a cafe with your phone. Yeah. It's all about discipline and just changing a few things, isn't it, in life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
totally.
And with that said, please, can you share with everybody who's watching now and also on, in the future on YouTube, please, can you share this wonderful weekend that we're going to have in August, when you're coming to our place, our farm. You've built this wonderful medicine wheel, and that's going to be there as a central kind of focal point. And can you share with everybody what we've got happening in August? I think it's the 16th, isn't it? It's that weekend. 16th, 15th, 16th?
16th and 17th.
Yeah. So it's a two-day.
Saturday 16th and Sunday 17th. Yeah.
And we do have some accommodation here. And also people are able to bring their camper vans or tents as well if they want to. Yeah.
So we did it last year and it was really remarkable and really successful. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be working through it's a combination of allowing people to sort of space to be in nature, but at the same time, there's a very special technique that I'll be teaching as the thread through the weekend, plus some energy practice as well. And so this technique is called simultaneous awareness, and it originates from the Native American tradition. It's a very special practice which allows us to expand our awareness into nature, and it's essentially it's a process of deep listening, and anyone at any level can learn it, and it takes a couple of sessions of an hour or so, and it's like a very powerful meditation hack. So I know that years ago when I tried to meditate, I just failed abysmally, and I'll just close my eyes and nothing really happened, and I just got frustrated. This allows us to take all the sound in and to absorb it and to accept it, to
Mm.
immerse in all of those sounds. And we learn in nature because it's beautiful, the rustling of the trees and the water and the wind, all those things. And once we've learnt it, we can then develop it, and it really allows us to expand our awareness into nature, but also inside as well. So we can very, very quickly get, so we can get very deep. And I've got a quote here from last year from Vicky, who said, "I experienced a state of everything and nothing, being and not being, but I was incredibly energized at the same time." This is like a very Zen quote, but actually it really can do this. And Alex said it was a gentle riverboat ride into the beauty and wonder without and within. I refound my peace. So it really enables you to be able to come into really very deep harmony with your environment. Now we learn in nature, and there's an amazing part of the training where you get to learn to move like an animal, and it will expand your awareness. And we've got a very wonderful lady who came last year who's in her 80s and found it remarkable. And so it is very easy to do. And this practice has come from the Native American tradition of stalking animals, and it allows you to be really aware in nature. And I've actually done it with deer, and it really actually of course it works remarkably well because it's from the Native Americans. But also, once you've learnt it, you can then sort of use it at any time. You can do it when you're gardening, when you're walking the dog. You can do it. I've done it kayaking, and I've done it in the city as well. And it allows us to expand our awareness out, and then not have that single focus. Like we have a single focus. I've got to get this thing done and that done, but then we miss all the beauty. This process allows us to be open and still move through life. So I've actually done the practice moving through the city, and it's incredible because you get to hear everything, you hear all the conversations, and you sort of get to move and flow like water. So there's many different ways you can use it. So you can use it. You can use it just as a seated meditation, or you can use it eyes open. I'm a professional dowser, so I've used it to enhance my dowsing. I've also used it as a base to be able to connect with, at a deeper level, the trees, and so we've done a lot of work with people where they tune in and they start to then combine it then with feeling the biofield of trees. And so we'll be doing that as well. So it allows people to tune in. So we're tuning in like tuning a radio. It's also through listening. So there becomes a deep connection between ourselves. I've used it in retreat in Sweden. And I did it where I was literally able to feel like a sort of twisted braid coming from our heart into a sunset. So you can really use it in every part of your life, and it's sort of, I think it's a really incredible sort of like yogic hack. You can get to a level of meditation, or really, it's not really meditation, a meditative sense, but still be open. So you can walk through nature. So if anyone's done forest bathing, or if they've done mindfulness, this is sort of another level. It's a deeper level, but it's actually very simple and easy to learn. I love teaching it. So really, I really love teaching it. And and also, if some people are already quite sensitive as well, it is a really, from those quotes, it does allow people the time to get really deep. We had the best, probably I think the best response that we had last year. We were sat by the river, and people actually tuned into the water. So there's a general awareness, but actually tuning into the I guess you could call it the spirit of the water, because you're actually focusing beyond the physical in that way. And we had some incredible results of people really being quite emotional because they expanded themselves out into the water. Yeah, it's a fantastic, multifaceted process.
Oh, Mark, I'm really, really looking forward to it, because last year I didn't have enough time This year, I'm going to make sure I organise myself well enough with the food side and everything else, so that I can join in on it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Yeah. So, is there any more to say on that weekend? We've got 2 days, haven't we? Which gives people time to relax in between things, because it was quite. We covered a lot of stuff in one day last year, and it was a lot for everybody to take in, and then had a day after for them to integrate. But I think we're planning on having gaps, aren't we? So everybody can just sort of feel it, have some time out, practice whatever they want to do in between.
Like learn the practice and just go and lie on the grass, or just go and hug a tree, or just walk. Absolutely. And then we'll do some other things. Like I said, we're going to teach people how to sort of feel energy with their body, how to connect with the biofields of trees. We'll do some gentle qigong to open the energy body up. So it's very gentle. It doesn't need, all beginners are, if you're a beginner, you can pick up these skills over the course of 2 days. And then we'll have I want the infamous barbecue on Saturday evening underneath the stars.
Yes.
Down by the river, and last year we had perfect conditions, clear sky, because obviously where you are, it's remarkable. In the valley, there's almost no light from anywhere, so you have a dark sky. So being able to expand your awareness out there is quite remarkable.
Yeah, and of course that gives everybody the option to do some stargazing if they want to as well. And it's a great time of the year to see the meteor showers, isn't it? That's sort of that time of the year between now and August as well. Yeah,
that's a good person. Yeah, absolutely. It is that week. Yeah. So should we tell people about the? I know you touched on the accommodation options. Do you want to tell them a bit more?
Yeah, accommodation. So there's a meal packages if people want not to worry about them bringing any food. We can look after them with the meal, and it's all in the information. So that's they can choose their food for both days. So that's there. And then we've got accommodation in the farmhouse, in the yurt, and in the shepherd's hut. There's already some accommodation in the farmhouse that's already gone. So there's a few places left in the farmhouse. And then everybody can, if people want to bring their camper van or tents, there's a small charge for pitching up, if you like, a pitching up charge. And then there's shower facilities here as well. There's loos everywhere, everything that people need really. So you could come and just be totally looked after, or you can come with your food if you prefer to do it that way as well. So it's that the options are there for everyone.
Yeah,
obviously the barbecue included on the Saturday night. That barbecue is actually included in the price.
That's right. And then also you touched on the medicine wheel, which we built 2 summers ago. We'll finish with another ceremony in the medicine wheel, which was very powerful last time. I remember it raining. We were barefoot.
Yes, and I managed to be there for that, which was incredible. Yeah, very, very powerful. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, it was just a meditation that you said you hadn't even prepped for it. You just pulled it out of nowhere, and it was absolutely perfect. It was very, very wonderful.
And then we saw the deer on the hill.
Yeah,
the stag came down. Yeah, it's if anyone hasn't been to the farm, it's incredibly beautiful. And there's a sort of the main field, the valley, and there's the medicine wheel is sort of in a sort of amphitheater at the bottom of the valley, and it's quite spectacular. And you can almost it's just trees and then the hills around, and then the stream. It's incredibly beautiful. And so if anyone hasn't been, you're going to have an amazing experience if you come.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mark, you very kindly offered to do a small meditation, sort of linking into into the biofield. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you call it skin breathing. Was that the right thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So this comes from so I've done a lot of practice in the Taoist tradition, which is we mentioned before, which is the ancient Chinese yogic tradition, and there's an incredibly powerful practice which allows us to vitalize our biofield, and allows us to sort of interact with our environment. And we'll be doing more of this once we'll be doing more of this in August, and then we add this practice to the awareness, and it's quite remarkable. It's a remarkable practice because, a bit like when we were talking about, you've got a little bit of time at lunchtime, you can actually use this to like 5 minutes of this with barefoot on the ground. You're able to draw in the sort of the current from the earth to recharge and reboot, and you could just do it for a couple of minutes of breathing. Once you know it, and it just allows your system to reset. And so I'll just take everyone through the practice now, and then when we do it in August, we add the awareness to it as well. And it's sort of one of those incredibly simple things that people just want to spend a little bit of time with, especially in nature, can have remarkable impact upon expanding the biofield, because we get contracted. So not only when we're inside because of technology, but when we sort of get into stress and anxiety and fear even, we sort of contract like this. So this just allows us to reset and sort of, sort of like a sort of very natural bellows. It's very simple but incredibly effective.
Wonderful. Okay, so are we going to go and do that now, Mark? Is that?
Yeah.
We're going to. Thank you very much.
Okay, so all right, we'll do this for about 5 minutes or so. So what we're going to do is just take a deep breath in through your nose, everyone, and out through the mouth. Just gently close your eyes. Make sure your back is vertical, your spine is vertical. Be comfortable where you're sitting. Just continue to breathe through your nose, out through the mouth. And on each breath, you get slightly slower, slightly deeper. What we're going to do is we're just going to place our awareness in the soles of our feet. As you breathe, just feel the connection between your feet and the ground. Now we have that sort of that grounding. You just keep that grounding there. Almost feel like you're breathing through your feet. Almost like the soles of your feet are opening up as you breathe in. As you breathe in, you can almost feel like the earth chi, the vital force on the earth, has been drawn up from the soles of your feet up into your legs. And then the out breath, just allow that earth chi to flow back into the earth. Now what we're going to do is place our awareness on the crown of our head. And breathe in. Recognize you're breathing in cosmic chi coming from the heavens into the crown. And then when you breathe out, let it go back up out. And on each breath, just allow that chi to come closer into your center, drawing from the earth, drawing from the heavens. You might feel them starting to join in around the heart. in your chest. And feel that connection between the earth and the sky. And now what we're going to do is we're going to breathe that chi from the earth and chi from the sky into our environment. So what we're going to do is when you breathe, next time you breathe into your center, and then as you breathe out, just allow it to breathe out just past your skin, just on the outside of your body. And the in-breath, draw it back into your core, into your center. And each time you breathe in, you breathe in a little bit deeper to your center, your core. And each time a little bit further out, even just a centimeter. If that feels comfortable when you breathe in, you could just have a little bit of a pause and then release. You're becoming like a bellows for the environmental chi, the life force around you. Breathe in the life force and then breathe it back out. You might start to feel your biofield, might start to tingle a little bit. You might feel a bit of warmth or fullness. And it's nice to always add a smile into this. It's called the inner smile. While we're now breathing in and breathing out, add the vitality of joy into our breathing. You can add gratitude to the earth, the life force we're bringing up into the body, and gratitude to the heavens, to the cosmic chi. Now we're going to bring our awareness just back to our center. Feel the connection between the earth and the sky. We just feel into the stillness in the central channel. Or in the heart if that's easier for you. And when you're ready, you have one big inhale, one big exhale, and then open your eyes when you're ready.
Oh, I didn't want to come back from that. That was amazing. Thank you.
My pleasure. So this is pretty much the foundation of Taoist energy work, which is really called the connection of heaven and earth. And then the breathing like that, just that very subtle bellows, allows us just to reset, especially if we're in nature, we're drawing all that fantastic natural chi. And so just 5 minutes at lunchtime, go and reconnect to the earth, take your shoes off, reconnect to the heaven, reconnect to earth, and just a little bit of breathing, you can get back into your center, especially if you've had a stressful morning. It's really very powerful.
Yeah, really, really. So, like, I mean, we feel great now, and we're just not saying we've got our plants in here with us, but just goes to show how much more powerful it will be when we're outside as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate you coming on, and thank you for watching live and in the future. And Mark, I look forward to seeing you very soon in a month's time. We will be putting eventually, probably tomorrow now, putting the details below this. So Jem will do that tomorrow. Put the details below,
yeah,
so when it's YouTube, people can actually, and we'll put it into the group as well. It'll be in the main Facebook group.
We'll add, so it's an Eventbrite link, and then people can then, from that, if they haven't got your details, in the FAQ, in the frequently asked questions section, is all the information about the accommodation, the food, and then they will. So booking is via Eventbrite, and all of the accommodation, food is with you.
Lovely. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much, Georgie. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.